be equal. When it comes to their weapons, they usually for Aang, he uses an air staff. He always uses an air staff. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a staff that can also be used as a glider and originated from airbenders. Korra also uses this in season 3, but she doesn't always carry one with her. But in my opinion, it seems that Aang has a better skill at using the staff than Korra because he always uses it in battle. Now there's one more similarity between these two. They were both able to learn the ability known as energy bending. Now we first learn of energy bending when Aang meets an ancient creature known as a lion turtle. Basically a creature that has lived on the earth for thousands of years. And the creature tells Aang that before anyone was capable of bending the elements, people were able to bend the energy within them. And the turtle also explains that in order to energy bend, they must be uncorruptible, and that's quote. Because if you watch the last episode of Avatar, The Last Airbender, you see that Aang almost got corrupted when he tried to take the Fire Lord's ability to bend fire, but he was still able to use it very well. As for Korra, she actually learns energy bending after connecting with Aang and the spirits. And then afterwards Aang was able to, give her back her ability to bend the other elements besides air. But the thing is, if you think about it, if they both use energy bending against each other, it will be useless. Because remember the lion turtle said, in order to energy bend, you must be uncorruptible. So, if they're both able to energy bend, they cannot be corrupted. So it will be useless to use this in battle. So this isn't going to give either of them an advantage. Now that we're done talking about the similarities, let's talk about their differences. For Aang, he learns the ability to use seismic sense. Now for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically the ability Toph uses. Because Toph is blind, but the seismic sense is an ability that enables you to feel the vibrations in the earth and make visions in your head so that you'll be able to know where your opponent is, the opponent's location in battle, either it's living or non-living. Aang actually learns this ability from Toph as well, and of course it's not at the same level as Toph, but he can use it whenever there's an emergency or whenever he needs to. After mastering firebending, Prince Zuko actually teaches Aang the ability to redirect lightning. So whenever there's lightning coming towards him, he can redirect it anywhere else. Though that might not be so useful in a battle, considering the fact that Korra can't lightning bend. So yeah, there is that. As for Korra, she does learn the ability to metal bend. In fact, she's the very first avatar to learn metal bending. And her mastery of it, she hasn't really mastered it. She's more at a beginner's level. But she is proficient enough to actually destroy big metal walls. So that's pretty impressive. In fact, she even used like those metal whips that the metal benders use as a weapon. Although she doesn't carry it with her often, she does know how to use it. Korra also learns the ability to calm down spirits that she learned from her, asshole of an uncle from season 2. But of course that's not going to help in a battle against Aang. They also have physical differences between each other. Besides from one being short and one being tall, Aang is actually way more agile than Korra. There was one time in the series where Aang had to hide his abilities to bend all the other elements when he was he was within a camp for the firebenders, and he had to dodge a whole team of firebenders. He dodged all the attacks without bending at all. That proves that he's extremely agile. As for Korra, she's more physically stronger. And finally, they both have the ability to go into the avatar state. a state where that not only increases their power when it comes to the elements to bend them, but it also allows them to connect to the other reincarnations, aka the other avatars before them, to gain their experience in battles. Now that I talk about both their origins, abilities, it's time to decide the winner. And the winner is going to be Avatar Aang. First off, the reason why Aang's gonna win this is because of his fighting techniques. For airbenders, they don't like to fight. They usually try to off-balance their opponents and try to strategize and stay calm in many situations. Aang is childish most of the time, yes, but when it has to be serious, he is. In fact, he was in a time where he was the last of his kind. He had a lot more pressure when it came to saving the world and everything, more than Korra in my opinion. Korra doesn't usually strategize. She usually prefers fighting head on with pure strength. Sometimes she does strategize, yes, when an opponent is stronger and very destructive, but she usually doesn't. Another reason why Aang will win is because he's way more agile. Remember, he was able to dodge an entire team of firebenders without bending at all. Korra is pretty agile too, but she's not at the same level as Aang. There's also the seismic sense. Remember, I said Aang was able to use the seismic sense to find the location of his opponents and anything in his surroundings. He doesn't use it often, yes, but he can use it in battle if he's in a tight situation. And guess what? This is even without the avatar state. Aang could beat Korra without the avatar state if they both don't use it. But if you bring the avatar state into this, Aang would still win. The main reason why, remember in Legend of Korra season 2, at the end, Korra's asshole of an uncle, Unalaq, actually injures Raja, the spirit that lives within all the avatars. And basically, as he kept injuring Rava, he actually disconnected Korra's connection to the other avatars before her. Basically, she cannot connect with the other avatars. Remember, the avatar state not only increases their powers, but also connects them to the other avatars. So, Aang has both the increase and the additional experience. As for Korra, she gets the increase and that's it. She can't connect with the other avatars. So, she cannot fight as well as Aang. Plus, Aang does seem to have better feats when it comes to the avatar state than Korra. Like one time in the last episode of Avatar Last Airbender, Aang actually controls all the 4 primary elements at once. For Korra, she didn't really do this. More like she put the elements around, what was the name? Vata, I can't remember, the Dark Spirit. But her feat is not as great as Aang. So, after all this research, Aang is definitely going to take the win. Do you agree with me or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. And also, if you want to hear me talk about another matchup between 2 opponents, you can leave in the comments, give me some suggestions, and I'll let you know in the comments whether I will make the matchup or not. Anyways, see you later guys, and thanks for watching.